Hello and welcome to a new video with me, Christian Rauchenwald. Today I'm going to show you how to make sure that your funnels actually look good. The problem I've encountered over the last couple of months is that usually when people went through the One Funnel Away challenge, their funnels end up looking something like this. And I'm not sure if you agree with me, but that's for sure not something that looks very professional or trustworthy, or where you would be entitled, or not entitled, but would have the feeling like, okay, that's something you need to have. And it's actually not that hard to turn this into a very beautiful funnel. And we are going to do that within this short video. And it's really going to be a short video. Don't worry, because it's really not that hard. So before we get started, what you need, and that the One Funnel Away challenge actually focus on getting this right, like really right, is you need to have all your pieces in place. What does this mean? The first thing you need to have is obviously you need to have like your offer. And the better your offer, the more other mistakes you can make. Like your copy can be like mediocre, your design cannot be as pretty, and people will still buy because your offer will blow them away. It will be like, yeah, the page looks a little ugly, but that's so amazing, I need to buy it for this price. Yeah. But obviously, if your offer is great, your copy is great, and your design is great, yeah, like if everything is great, it will just be much better. Now, you probably are like me. I'm more a guy for like zeros and ones, like for like logical things, technical things and stuff like that. I'm for sure not creative, but I'm going to show you how to create a squeeze page in roughly 10 minutes. So that it actually looks good and that you have a plan on what you do. The first thing, like I'm going to show you some things that you can use. The first thing you want to figure out is like obviously your offer. In that case, that actually is the squeeze page from Abdul Salam, one of my mentees. Like he also like was part of the One Funnel Away challenge, and it was one of his, like, let's call it like early experiments. Yeah. And he really spent a lot of time because he's not very tech savvy, and he like keeps standing in his own way, or kept standing in his own way. And the first thing you're going to need to come up with after you have your offer is like font pairing. Like you want to use like a content font and a headline font. The Clickfunnels page editor actually considers that already, that you can define two different fonts, one for content, one for heading, but you could also use like on separate occasion if you need to other fonts as well. But if in most cases you only want to use those two, so it kind of like you have like your headline font for things that should stick out, and you have your content font for things that are content. Yeah. Now, I for myself, for the recreation of this funnel, already know that I will use Roboto as headline font and Montserrat as like content font. In case that doesn't tell you anything, doesn't matter, you can go to fontpair.co and then you can pick like a font. In that case, I already went to Roboto, and it will show you like fitting font matches. It shows you Roboto in the headline, and there are Nunito as like text font. So you see examples, and based on that, you can pick your font easily. Yeah. And make sure that they actually fit together. So if you're on the main page of Font Pair, you can pretty much, yeah, like whatever, let's go featured pairs, and we see Laura and Merriweather, blah, 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 blah. So you see a lot of different fonts, and you can, based on that, easily make your choice, because you already see what it will look like when you use that for your headings and that for your text. But I said, like, my choice here is Roboto for headings and Montserrat for content. Now, on top of that, the next thing you need is you need to decide a color palette. Yeah, like Abdul already picked colors here, but he obviously didn't like honestly think it through, like how to use them. Yeah, he didn't know better back then. Now he does. So it's a learning process. Everything is a learning process. What you can use here is coolers.com. So like color, but like cool, written like cool. And I actually already have the color palette here, but just to open it again, coolers, or not .com.co, sorry for that. And then you just start the generator for free, which is always great. And after it's loaded, you basically, there was a button that you can click. There was this button, been a while since I used this thing. Now that way it locks it. No. Ah, yeah, you can press space on your keyboard and it will come up with color palettes. Now you can just enter a color code BD1B1E, for example, a red I'm always using, and you lock it, and then you can, no, locking didn't work, BD1B1E. Why do you not lock it? Lock. Now it should be locked. Okay, then you can click, no, that's locking it again. Ah, yeah, so now it's locked. It shows the lock properly, and now you click, you press space again, and it picks colors that should go well with the color that you locked currently. Till you have like your color palette, and you want to have for sure like maybe a lighter background color, like something that goes towards white. You want to have like a dark color for your text. It doesn't have to be black, but something like that. You want to have a color that you use for as a signal color for the things that you want people to see to stand out, and the other two colors you use like on certain spots. Now again, with Abdul, we already have a defined color palette here. We have like the pink here because this offer is like a free ebook that reveals 7 exercises so women look great on their wedding so that they can get in shape for the wedding dress or whatever. And therefore he decided to go with this pink and that kind of black and so on and so on. Yeah, so that's pretty much it. So we have the content for this page, meaning we have an ebook cover which is already here. I'm just going to download it and I'm going to show you what you still need to do with that ebook cover. We have our copy in place because I can just copy it from here into the funnel that I will create. We have our color palette and we know our font. So that's pretty much it. And so what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to take my iPhone and I'm gonna like use the stopwatch, and the only thing I'm gonna do before is like, because I said we want to have our stuff in place, so what I'm gonna do before is like I'm gonna download this image so I have it like ebook full, and we quickly gonna like do two things with it. Yeah, like once the download is finished. Yeah, it says finished but the file is not showing up. This file currently is 1.3 megabyte in size. That may not tell you anything, but the point is it means on mobile devices it will affect the loading times quite well. And it's 1595 pixels square, yeah, which doesn't make sense because it's not square. So what you want to do is like you want to like resize your pictures to a dimension where it's like roughly twice the actual size you're going to be using. So in case we keep using it like this, which actually is square, yeah, interesting. But we can actually narrow it down. So I'm using Lightscreen, a screenshot tool here. Yeah, so that's not some strange magic, but a separate tool. I'm gonna link all of that in the description of this video post, yeah, or YouTube video, depending on where you're watching this. And you see the picture size, the actual size, if we keep it like this, will be 382 times 544. So it's like 764 times 1100 roughly. Yeah. So what we want to do, like if you have Photoshop like I have, you can use Photoshop, of course. If you don't have Photoshop, you go to snapper.com or canva.com and you create a new graphic. So what did we say it was? Obviously, I already forgot it. Yeah, that's why we haven't started the countdown yet, because my short-term memory is not that great. So roughly 800 times 1100, that's roughly our size. Yeah, 800 times 1100. Now we create this empty canvas here. We go to graphics, uploads, and I upload the original image again, which is way too big. And we wait for that 1.3 megabyte to make it back to the internet. And there we go. And we put it. Yeah, now there we have it. Yeah. So now we have it here. And we scale it as big as possible. And we center it, depending on where center is. So you see yeah, now it's centered on this canvas. So what we do here, then we click download and we say transparent background because we don't want to, and we say, yeah, actually made a mistake here. If I would download it as Retina twice the size now, it would be actually 4 times the size we needed. So I will just download it as like high resolution PNG. And then it complains that I reached my free limit here because we canceled our Snapper subscription, which is obviously great for the purpose of this video because it drags everything out. Yeah, like that happens when you do things live and you don't prepare everything. So I can say create a design and custom dimensions and reset 800 times 1100 roughly, create new design. And here we go again, drag in the picture, scale it up. Probably maybe too big now. Your picture, where did you go? Actually, the shadow is a tricky thing, so I need to make it a little smaller, like so it actually like fits. So yeah, this way we have the full shadow, and from here we say download PNG, transparent background, and there we go. And we again only downloaded in like 1x because we already doubled the dimensions that we need. So it will also look good on Retina devices, meaning iPhones, MacBooks, and stuff like that. So now we have our new graphic, but the problem, or let's see how big that new graphic is. Yeah, once Finder is a little slow today. So it says that new graphic is now 800 kilobytes, so it's a little smaller than it was before. So the next step we're gonna do, we don't need Canva anymore, we don't need font pair anymore, and we need tinypng.com, this wonderful pander, and we just drag the image in there and let the pander eat away the file size. So just waiting for it to compress. And again, that's the preparation that you do before. Like maybe the image resizing you don't, because you're not yet fully sure about how big the image will be in the end. But again, preparing your offer, preparing your content, preparing the basic graphics and font types and color palette. Those are like the basic things you do. You see the TinyPNG was able to reduce the file size by 73%, which means it's also gonna improve the loading times by default. So now we have everything in place. We don't need that, that's my firewall. And we say like a new step, we call this like, yeah, demo sounds good, yeah. Demo and path also demo. And I'm just creating that at the end of another funnel. And that's it. Gonna like, yeah, almost done. Blank here. So we look for an empty template and we select the template, and that's it. I'm gonna start the timer. So the timer is now running, and we go to the page editor. I'm gonna move that to the side to my other screen. And here we have our amazing landing page. We don't need this. And so like you should already be familiar, ClickFunnels uses section, rows, and elements. We want to have a top row with a headline. We want to have a sub-headline, and that's pretty much it here. And then we want to have like a 2-column layout. And on the left side, we want to have an image. And on the right side, we want to have first a paragraph of text. And then we want to have an input field, input, and that we want to have cloned because we want to ask for name and email, and then we want to have a button. Now, on top of that, we want to have, yeah, great, I need to save this because there's no element showing. Demo, save. Before we reload, we check this, that's fine. We go to typography to change the font, and we change the content font to Montserrat as set, and the headline font to Roboto, and the text color we changed to the black we had, which was like this one, and the link color we changed to the pink we have, which is this one. So we have our font set, we have that set, so we have pretty much everything set. Now we're gonna already, like before I add the next stuff, add the picture here. I already uploaded it before, but in a different size, so I'm even going to take the time to delete that wrong picture and delete it again, so it actually is gone. Sometimes that is a little bit buggy, yeah, or glitchy. So add image, wrong, not add image, but upload image. Also, when you delete pictures, they're actually not deleted from the server. They may be deleted at some later point, but at first they stay, so the paths still work. You just don't see them anymore. So now we have our picture, we have our text. Actually, no, we don't have our text, so we need this. We need the headline here. We don't want to make that bold. We need the, so that I'm just copying from the existing funnel. Yeah. Free book. That will help you. Want to make that bold. Then we have the text for get your free book. Yeah, free book. Then we want to add another paragraph here where it says like digital the book or delivery, digital delivery, yeah. So something like that, and then we want to make very small. We want to make it font size 12. We want to have it close to the button. Now we need the pink again, and we want to make the button obviously pink, and then we take the white that we have here, and we maybe use this one here, and yes, I want, okay, we won't use that. I want the, yeah, I want to, yes, send me my free copy, something like this, and we're just going to change that to regular white for now. So, and then we also want to use that white basically as background color for the whole thing. So we go to background, and there we select the background color, and suddenly, well, it's not purely white, but still. And so what else do we need? We need, obviously we need the pink again, pink, and we need it for here. To say text color will be that black, okay, but that color is then pink, and that color is also pink, and that color we don't change to pink. Now the next thing we want to do, we maybe want to limit the size of this, like, okay, that's 400, yeah, so like this. And then we want to go to columns and say 2 columns, and for the second column we say like a border, full border, 3 pixel solid. We don't set a border radius, but for the border we pick this color. And then we go back here, and for background we pick this color here. So, and voila. Then because everything is like close, 20, 20, 20, and then we also want to like pretty much align it a little bit better, like this. Also probably will make the cover a little bit bigger, so maybe we'll make it 500. Or if we leave it like this, let's play around a little bit with the sizes then. Then here for this one, we want to make sure that it uses our headline font actually, and we want to play with the size that we get nice 2 lines like this, maybe even, yeah. And also, yeah, it says headline font, which is great, but we just to be sure that it uses it, Roboto, yeah. And then this one is also our headline font, but that one also, obviously, we don't want to have that big. Maybe we reduce the spacing here a little, and yeah. I probably would even make it like this. So then we want to add a little space here. Probably not much, 20, 30 pixel. And again, columns, 2 columns or second column. And we want to then try to center this. If 100 is not enough, you can just enter it manually here. Yeah, so we would maybe 130. So that said, we save. We click on preview. And we're almost done. So then here we want to reduce the space between the buttons and maybe use this one with 15 pixel, and that one should be an email address, and it should like enter your email address. And the first one should be probably first name, and it should be your first name here, yeah. Yeah. So this, that. What else do we need? We would need to set up an email integration. So in my case, I would use Actionetics, and I would use add to list, and I would then just pick whatever email list like fits or is set up for this funnel, and voila. Then we would need to add search engine metadata like get your free book today, or your free copy, 7 easy exercises to look like a Disney princess at your wedding. So then we pick a picture that should be used as preview for when people share it, and then also name in that case like would be mine, Christian Rauchenwald, or company name, and here we will write like wedding, workout, training, keywords that fit, ebook, book, free, something like that, yeah. And so again, now we look at it quickly, save, and look at desktop. And it actually, yeah, we should make the picture smaller because it's too big. So let's try 600, and yeah, maybe even try 550. And then we will need to adjust the second column. Now the problem is our second column is like now really like great on desktop, yeah, Maybe depending on if we don't like edges, we could even like round the corners, but for now that seems to be fine. And the problem is, like, again, it's great on desktop. So what we do, we duplicate that real quick here, and on the duplication, we remove the spacing on top, and we also go to this second column and remove this here. And then pretty much we set that one here to desktop only, and then we switch this one here to mobile only, and we start optimizing again and start by the font sizes for mobile. So we go here and we say mobile font size, and we try something like 36 pixel. Too big. Okay, we try 22 pixel. Yeah, 3. Yeah, kind of like okay. So which means the sub headline needs to be smaller. So we make it like roughly 18 pixels, something like this. Yeah. Or in that case, I'm gonna just get rid of it, meaning like you switch it to desktop only, so it's not visible on mobile. And then the problem is obviously our image height here, which we don't want to have too big. Actually, yeah, I don't know, 300 pixels, maybe even a little smaller, 275 pixels, something like that, because we want to ensure that people see this opt-in box there on their mobile as well. So we can also reduce spacings here a little, play around, and that one can also be smaller here to make sure they see this click to action. Now we need to set this click to action to submit form, which is one important step. And also like actually we want to pick Roboto here for the button, and we want to again like make the font size like, yeah, like as big as possible, but also not too big. Yeah, that's pretty much it. So we go back to this one, and here we also change like first set action, submit order on submit, and font to Roboto. So we have that set up, so we can make this button even bigger like this, yeah, or go and set it to fill with. So that's pretty much it. Now also what we need is a pop-up. So in the pop-up we say add new row, 1 column, and all we want to have here is like not a headline. Yeah, well, headline does well. Wait, what are you doing? Don't miss out on your free book, something like this, yeah. And we only make that other part bold, and then we go here, and again, like that would be Roboto, maybe here say headline font, and again we pick our pink, and we go back and bold colors. They're also saved here, so it should already be here, like this one or the other one was already that. So, and then we go to pop-up, edit settings, and we say show on user exit, and voila. We're still missing the footer, yeah, like that's the other part, because that we will need on any page, yeah. And now voila, we have our page pretty much done, like in very simple basic squeeze page, not a lot of text, like get your book, that's it. We could now add our footer asset if the page editor now like, yeah, cooperates, so like one full width footer, and just to have it like as far down as possible. So there we would say like, okay, we add 1 row, and in that 1 row we add a text element, a paragraph element, and there we go. Copyright Board Group Limited, or whatever company or name you have, yeah. And then you start like whatever privacy policy, cookie policy, terms and conditions, and we link them somewhere. I'm not going to enter the links because we're not going to go live with this, but you see we're going to link them somewhere. And next one. See, sometimes, especially in these corner areas, like the page editor is a little bit glitchy. But worst case, if something's not working, you just like refresh, save, and then refresh the page. So now we have our thing as well here. And then what we also want to do maybe is we want to have a disclaimer, like some kind of disclaimer. So we just like put in another text element, and we set the font size to 12. The page editor allows you to go down to 10, but Google doesn't like fonts smaller than 12 because they're hardly readable on mobile. So you get like, yeah, you don't list as well on mobile if you have too much text below font size 12. So yeah. There we go. Like, so we have our squeeze page. When people scroll down, we have all our privacy policy, cookies policy linked and stuff like that. We could have a disclaimer like whatever, like I'm an affiliate, or this page contains affiliate links. We have connected the opt-in page to an email opt-in, and we also have like a decent mobile version of it that for sure beats our original. Yeah, like we put now them next to each other. Where's ours now? Somehow I'm like missing the page. Oh, it jumped in here. It shouldn't have jumped in. That one. Oh, no, there we go. So we're one here and we're one here, and just need to close the preview for mobile. So overall, like, yeah, maybe use a brighter color. Maybe I would even switch the background. Actually, maybe I switch it to white. Yeah, like honestly, because that may even look better. But yeah, so if we put them not next to each other, but like this, it again went to the wrong window. Yeah, I'm giving up. Where do we have this funnel now? Here. So okay, I'm giving up on this. Like I'm gonna move some windows away. Oh. And there you go. So if you now compare, so I'm actually gonna pause the stopwatch. Yeah, so from this to this, with mobile version and integrating the email and also quickly writing something simple for the search engines, it actually took longer than it took me the last time I did something like this. But overall, yeah, the font sizes could be better coordinated and stuff like that. But overall, like it was like below 14 minutes. So when your content is in place, when you have like decided on your copy, when you have your graphics already prepared, yeah, even if you consider the preparation that we just did to like prepare the graphic, then we are talking about like slightly above 15 minutes for creating your squeeze page. Yeah. And one that actually, no, not this one. If we refresh this one, it should now have the white. Yeah. I think it looks better with the white, but still. One where the colors fit together, where the fonts fit together, and it looks, I don't know, like of course for sure it's not the most professional funnel look that you've ever seen, yeah. But for somebody who's not a designer like me, who's not creative like me, I consider this already a page that looks, or a funnel that looks really nice. Having also like fulfilling like the legal requirements by having the footer. Of course, there's no disclaimer written here, but depending on what you offer, you might need one. And compared to this, yeah. So before you go out there and start your guessing game with colors and fonts and all that stuff, use the advice, use coolers.co and fontpair.co to pick your color schemes, your color palette, and your fonts, your font pairing, and then stick to it throughout your whole funnel to create some kind of like a, how to say, like a unique style or like a recognition over each funnel step to give it a more professional look. Again, an amazing offer is for sure the most important thing of your funnel, and after that, the next important thing for sure is probably like converting copy where that makes people want to buy. And the last piece outside of page performance, where you can only do little tweaks like ensure that your pictures are properly shaped, the last piece is to give it like a professional look so that your funnel looks great, which will also have an effect on the performance and the conversion rates of your funnel. And that's pretty much it. Like that's really it. It's not hard. You see like the page editor, maybe for some of you who are not that familiar with the page editor, all my clicking went a little fast. But the main point is, once you've understood the structure, that there is like sections, rows, and elements, you're basically golden, because then you just have to think about like how many columns do you want to have, how many different like bigger blocks do you want to have. You would use sections like this because they allow you to separate like background areas. Yeah, for example, I could add a top border here, solid. Yeah, and then I add a whatever 30% drop shadow, but that's not going to the top, unfortunately. It's bottom shadow. No, it's inner shadow, so we need this one. So it gets like a slight shadow to the top. It's hard to see here, yeah, because it usually goes to below, and suddenly like you have like separate blocks of content, yeah. And that's what you use sections for. And when in terms of rows, you just ask yourself, do I want to have one column here or 6 columns? And then you just keep going. And if you're unhappy with something, you just maybe you want to make the book bigger and the opt-in smaller. Maybe again, like just play around then with the settings of each thing. The only thing that's like kind of like out of the ordinary is how to manage the columns. It's there, you have to go to columns and then pick the column. But maybe you even want to like make something like this, And in that case, you would just add the padding in all directions, yeah, so that the content fits inside. I'm not saying that it's pretty. I'm saying like maybe you want to add something, make something like this. But even something like that, you know, can be easily done. There may be pages where it fits. There may be pages where it doesn't fit. Just saying it's an option, yeah. Try, and everything is like really a couple clicks away. Like everything you want to do is a couple clicks away, and that's how you get your squeeze page done in like less than 15 minutes. It can be done in less than 10, yeah, if you don't have like yeah, if you really have practice. If you're when you have your content prepared, creating the page is like really, really fast. If it would have been a sales page with long sales copy or something, well, we're talking about 30 minutes or something like that. If your content is in place and you have, or like you have it prepared, you have your images, you know, your font types, your color palette, that's then actually the easy part. But for some reason, that's the part most of you are, or a lot of you are scared the most of, like, how do I then actually build it? Yeah. Now the only thing that's left here then would be, once you have built your funnel steps, you would like, I'm not going to save this because I don't need it. Yeah. And I'm actually going to delete this step because that's just one of my live funnels. So once I'm able to delete, yeah, delete. And the last thing then in your setup would be to integrate like Google Tag Manager. So like, do not, you know, like there's always an easy way and there's the right way. Do not go ahead and paste your Facebook pixel code and all that stuff just in here, because it will like have a slight negative impact on your performance, because it will not be minified. You don't have to understand what it means, but the point is that like it will have a minimal, like we're talking about milliseconds here, but you do this here and you do this in other locations and they sum up, yeah? So use Google Tag Manager and then add all your tracking codes with Google Tag Manager. It will cause them to lazy load, meaning like your page load will be slightly faster. They will all get minified, which will also improve the loading times of all those small scripts. And it gives you way more control over everything. And also, like when you want to update something, you don't need to go to certain funnel steps, because in Google Tag Manager, you can actually really do a lot once you figured out how it works. Like it's the same like with the page editor, where for you for the first time, or for some people for the first time, it may be like, how do I do this? How do I do that? But once you have a little practice with it, you will be as fast or even faster as I was right now with creating your funnel steps, or your funnel pages. And the same goes for Google Tag Manager. While it may be a learning curve in the beginning, or it will be a learning curve in the beginning, in the end, once you've figured it out, once you've done it for 1 or 2 funnels, it actually will become easy, and you will be happy about the amazing possibilities Google Tag Manager brings you over just pasting all your code in here, yeah? And yeah, you see there is, for some reason, there's still some Facebook code here, yeah, that actually shouldn't be here. Great that I checked in. Because that actually, I need to check with Google Tag Manager, yeah. In any case, that's pretty much it, yeah. So like, don't be scared of the page editor. If you're currently in the One Funnel Away challenge, don't worry about it. Like, come back and watch this video during week 3 when you need to get your Clickfunnels account. And if you ever have any questions, don't forget, like, there's also like funnelbuildercourse.com, a platform where you can just enter your email and your first name, and you will get access to this wonderful members area here. I said you will get access to this wonderful members area here. Yeah, so once you log in, create your account and then log in. So I'm gonna log in, and where you have like basic and advanced trainings on ClickFunnels, like in terms of like this technical setup, like setting up your custom domain, setting up your custom email, SMTP and stuff like that, but also in terms of the funnel page editor, yeah. And also you can get a free copy of the, I'm gonna switch, Funnel Hackers Cookbook. I'm gonna post the link to that book also in the description to this post. You can either download the PDF version like I did, and then I had it printed, because the shipping to Ukraine would have been $30 and I would have waited forever. Or you can get a copy, like always, like free plus shipping. And it really is great, because it like is really a cookbook for funnels. You think about what funnel you want to build, you look in there, it tells you which steps you need. Then you look up each step and it tells you like which structure it should have, which sections, which rows, which elements, and it also tells you which scripts from funnel scripts you should use to get your headlines or this and that text. So it's really a cookbook to build your funnels. And yeah, basically, even if you don't get the free plus shipping copy, get the PDF version so you can look up the funnels you want to build in the future, even within the One Funnel Away challenge, but not before we go to the funnel building phase in the end of week 2, early week 3. That's it. Thanks for watching this. I hope it helped some of you like realize how easy it actually is to build nice looking pages. Maybe it helped some of you that are like me, not very like how to say creative in terms of like which colors, which fonts and stuff like that, to finally have a solution to quite fast come up with good font pairings and nice color combinations. And yeah, let me know if this was helpful in the comments below. Again, all the links to everything I showed you are in the description above. And this is it. Till next time with me. And so have a great day. Bye-bye.